Welcome again to Ancient Tales for Today. We're looking at an old book with some very old stories, and these old stories are useful even 3,500 years after they happened. So, we've been talking about a group of people, and this group of people are leaving slavery, and they're coming to the promised land. Today is lesson number 58, the special day. The special day? What day is that? Well, stay by, and we'll go through another interesting lesson from Ancient Tales, number 58. We'll see you in just a moment.
Number 58, the special day. You remember the 10 Commandments, those important rules from heaven. One of them is about remembering a special day. What special day is that? Aren't all days the same? It's true that unless you look at a calendar, you don't know what day of the week it is. But in an interesting command, the God of heaven told his people to remember the last day of the week as a special day when they were to do no work and think especially about spiritual things. By the way, many modern calendars have Sunday as the last day of the week, but in ancient times it was Saturday. What was important about this day? Well, back in creation, the Creator had already said this seventh day was special. Now the God who was leading his people made this day a sign of the relationship between him and his people. That's what he told Moses. This is the special sign of the divine-human relationship. How is this seventh day special? You don't do any work. That's good news for all of us, isn't it? But it doesn't mean spending the whole day in bed. It is a special time to think about spiritual things, to focus your mind on things other than this world. For this physical life is not everything. In fact, it is much less important than we think. Why choose a day as a sign? Because if it was some physical object, people would end up worshiping the object and what it meant. But you really can't worship time, can you? Time is also something we value the most, for our lives pass by so quickly. The special day is a reminder to stop and think. I follow this idea, and I can tell you it has done so much good in my life. It helps me take time away from all the work and trouble of life and focus my mind on what is spiritual. In that way, I find peace and rest, and so can you.
You remember the 10 Commandments? We talked about the 10 Commandments. We talked about a mountain that was shaking. There was lightning and there was thunder, and the people paid attention, and God gave Banbu, gave the 10 Commandments, okay? You remember the 10 Commandments, those important rules from heaven, 从天国天庭来的 rules, 规则, 规矩, okay? One of these, or one of them, is about remembering a special day. 要纪念一个特别的日子. Now, the question you could ask is, well, what day is that? 到底是哪一天呢? Aren't all the days the same? I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, aren't they all the same? Well, of course. It's true. Unless you look at a calendar, you don't know what day of the week it is. 除非你看这个日历，你根本就不知道你现在那天是哪一天呢？ So you do need a calendar, right? You do need a calendar. And the calendar is pretty helpful. Okay? At least you can meet your appointments. 你跟人家所约的会 you can be there on time and so on. So the interesting thing, though, is, but in an interesting command, this is exactly what I wrote, but in an interesting command that God, the God of heaven, told his people to remember the last day of the week as a special day, when they were to do no work and to think especially about him. Now you remember that we explained the last 2 times that the last day of the week in our Chinese calendar is 星期六. In many or most of the calendars around the world, the last day of the week is 星期六. And the first day of the week is Sunday. But in our Chinese way of thinking, we say 星期六, 星期天. So the last day of the week becomes Sunday. But it's not the way it is. In the beginning, in many languages around the world for thousands of years, the last day of the week is Saturday, 星期六. In an interesting command, the God of heaven told his people to remember the last day of the week as a special day when they were to do no work, 不要工作, and think especially about spiritual things going on. But, by the way, many modern calendars have Sunday as the last day of the week. See, that's just what I explained. But in ancient times, it was Saturday. So there you have it. It's actually written there. And in our Chinese calendar, the last day of the week appears to be Sunday. Okay? But in ancient times, it was Saturday. In fact, in 西班牙话, Spanish, the Spanish, it is sábado. Sábado. Okay? That's the Sabbath. That's Saturday. Okay? So, times have changed. So you might have a hard time realizing what day of the week is the 7th day, the last day. What was important about this day? 到底这一天重要是为什么是重要? Well, back in creation, 回到这个创造世界的时候, okay, the creator, 创造主, already said the 7th day was special. 已经说了，第7日 is a special day. Even though our calendars change, that day is still special. Now the God who was leading his people, now remember, they are, sitting, they are located by a mountain. God has given all of these rules. They've heard it. Actually, the 古经, 这个圣经 actually says that God wrote with his finger on stone tablets. 石板是用他自己的手指头写字。Oh, I would like to have seen that, okay? Now the God who is leading his people, 带领这些人民 made this day a sign. 就使那一天就变成一个记号，一个记号。What kind of a sign? The sign of relationship. 是这个关系的一个记号。Between him and the people. 是人与他，就是与神关系的一个记号。Ooh, you got that? So a day, we're going to go on and explain why it's a day. Why is it a day and not a thing? Why can't God just give us something that we can look at? Why do we have a day? Why do we have time? Now we're going to look at that in the next part of our lesson. But for now, I think it's important to keep in mind that it is a sign of relationship between God and his people. See, that's what God told Moses. This is a special sign of divine-human relationship. What is divine? Divine is 神性的, okay? Or sometimes we say God-human relationship. And this is a special sign. It's a day, it's a time, it's a special sign of a special relationship. Now, we're going to stop for a little bit, and we're going to share with you light on our path. Stay by for more. For light on our path, Lena, we're going to look at Exodus 28 through 11. A little bit long, but let's take a look at it anyway.
好，
Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. On it you shall do no work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy.
是在出埃及记的20章8到11节，这里说到安息日。8节说，当纪念安息日，守为圣日。6日要劳碌做你一切的工，但第7日是向耶和华你上帝当守的安息日。这一日，你和你的儿女、仆婢、牲畜，并你城里寄居的客旅，无论何工都不可做，因为6日之内，耶和华造天地海和其中的万物，第7日便安息，所以耶和华赐福与安息日，定为圣日。
Okay, now here's my question for you. Why do you keep the seventh day? 第7日就是现在我们在中国的星期六啊。为什么 do you keep the seventh day holy? What advantage do you have?
我想啊，人一定要休息啦。比如我们一天里面有一部分时间是要休息睡觉的，不睡觉的话，人我想就会倒下来了。同样的，如果一个星期里面没有一天是让人休息下来亲近上帝的，总是每天这样忙，迟早我们也会倒下来的。
Right. I think that this is very important. We all need rest, and God gave us a special rest day. Okay, now the question is, how is this seventh day special? How is this seventh day special? Of course, one thing is you don't do any work. Okay, I think that's good news for all of us, isn't it? But it doesn't mean spending the whole day in bed. Okay, let's go back and look at that. You don't do work. You don't do work. What kind of work? The kind of work that you usually do to make a living. 我们都工作。为什么要工作？因为我们要饭吃。我们需要饭吃。So we have to work to earn money, and once we have money, then what? It's a cycle. We say it's a vicious cycle. It's a cycle, 一个循环. Okay, and because it's a cycle, we work, we buy food, we eat, we get energy, and it just keeps going. Work, eat, eat, work, work, eat. Okay? That's the good news for all of us, that the seventh day is special. You don't have to work. It's special. It's good news, isn't it? But it does not mean 这个没有意识到 spending the whole time in bed. I don't have to work today. And we go to sleep. No. The seventh day of the week is a special time. God wanted it to be a special time to think about spiritual things. 考虑思想到属灵的事情 Okay, it's a special time to think about spiritual things and to focus your mind on things of another world, other than this world. Okay, so what's the deal? We spend time thinking about, not thinking about the things of this world. Now, sometimes we're so busy, we got work to do, we have places to go, we have things to do, and all of this occupies 占我们的思想很多. Okay, so we are to spend time thinking about things that we usually don't think about. For this physical life is not everything. Physical life, the life that you see, the physical life, 我们的身体上, and the things that we can touch and feel and 能够摸到的, that's the physical life, is not heaven, 并不是一切的一切. In fact, it is much less important than we think. 比我们所想象的还要更加不重要. Much less important. 更加不重要. Going on. Why choose a day as a sign? That's a good question. We sort of touched about that a little bit. Why choose a day as a sign? 为什么选一天呢? Because if it were something, a physical object, 如果是一个有物体的一个东西啊, okay, people would end up worshiping the object, you see. In fact, actually, isn't it true that people actually worship trees and they worship rocks, and this is not what it meant. We are supposed to worship what? We are supposed to worship. 我们敬拜应该是敬拜 God. And you can't see God. So that's the only thing that you can do is set aside time. 把时间摆在一边 every week. The seventh day. All day. Okay? So people would end up worshiping the object. But if it's a day, you can't worship a day. You worship on a day. But you can't really worship time. 没办法拜 or 敬拜时间, can you? No. You can't worship time. You use time to worship. Time is also something we value the most. Is your time valuable? Of course. Your time is very valuable. For our lives pass by so quickly. 我们的时间过得太快. In fact, in Chinese we say 生老病死, and it seems like it goes so fast, so fast. Okay. The special day is to remember. It's a reminder to stop and think. This special day is a time to stop and think and value, 看重 other things going on. I follow this idea. 我自己也是这样做, okay? And I can tell you what it has done. It's done so much good in my life. It's true. For many, many years, for more than 50 years, I have followed this plan. So 1/7 of my 50 years has spent in a special relationship with God, a time where I don't work and I try not to at least, think about my usual life. It helps me take time away from all the work and trouble of life. 人生很多问题，我的工作，我根本就不需要这个考虑这些了。Time away from work and the trouble of life, and focus my mind. 把我的思想、我的脑袋、我的集中于 what on what is spiritual, 属灵的一些事情. In that way, I find peace and rest. 我就可以获得平安，也可以休息. And you can too. Yes. Words you need to know. There were some words in this lesson you need to know. Stay by, and I'll share those with you. Now for some words you need to know. Here we go. The special day, we're talking about the seventh day, the Sabbath, and we're talking about calendars.
日历.
日历. So the calendar, everybody has a little different calendar.
对，尤其是在新年的时候，我们每个人都有自己的一年中的日历了，对不对？
You're right, exactly. Calendar. Okay, the next one is ancient times.
这个是说古时，很早的时候，昔日古时。
Okay, 古时代, right. Ancient times. Some people look at me and say, 哎，老师，你真的是老校长。You are ancient.
不会了，不会了。
Okay. Anyway, ancient. The next one we have is what it means. In this case, it's 过去式, what it meant.
这个是说代
Okay.
表的意义，什么意思是吧？
Right. What it meant. 代表的意义。So then you say, well, what does it mean? 的意思是什么呢？
对，
And then you can say 代表的意义是什么？ What it meant. And let's see here. Do we have any more? Yes. Trouble in the life. Trouble of life.
就是说生活里面的一些问题、一些困难，
We all have them.
每个人都有。
Yes. So that's the reason why we need time to rest.
对，
And God gives us this time once a week. Well, we've just finished a lesson about a special day. Actually, some of us call it the birthday of the world because this is the seventh day from the creation week. And every day, every week, God says that same day is a special day. You don't need to work. You can spend time with me. So, and it's something that I have done for more than 50 years, and it will bring peace and happiness and joy to your life. Well, the story continues on. In our next lesson, we're going to look at worshiping the wrong God. So, stay by for another lesson next time, worshiping the wrong God. See you then.
That's all for today, and thanks for watching. If you like Ancient Tales for Today, please visit atft.chinesehope.tv. You may also contact us by writing to ancienttalesfortoday@gmail.com. Again, that's ancienttalesfortoday@gmail.com. Tell your friends about Ancient Tales for Today. See you next time.